Good morning, Bucknutters. It's Tuesday, July 19th, 2016. I am Dan Rubin. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 and Change. As always on Tuesdays, joined by Duane Long. Duane, how are you this morning?
It's going to be an interesting morning with the fallout that is about to come.
As Duane alluded to, there are days in the summer, I guess this is the dog days of summer, according to some in terms of sports, and there are days we scramble to try and find things to come up with on the BM5s. Today is not one of those days, obviously. The news that broke late last night, broken by Alex Gleitman for those who are interested, and then followed up by the masses. Br'ionte Dunn has been dismissed from the team. There was a civil order filed against him by a woman thought to be his girlfriend without having registered details. It's obviously an issue of domestic violence on some level. Urban Meyer has made it very clear that that is one of the third rails for the squad, so Dunn was kicked off the team. There are a lot of ways you can break this down. It's very disappointing, obviously, on a human level. In light, and I hate to say this, in light of what is going on in our culture now, just to have one of our guys come through and do something so stupid, allegedly, is depressing. In light of the fact that, there were some SEC programs that were highlighted recently for getting into trouble, and we all said, hey, we're not in trouble for a while. There's that, and then there's the football side of it. Let's first address this. This is a guy Br'ionte Dunn, who never really has played much here, was finally in a position to maybe get some carries. I will say on the record out loud here that I don't think Dunn would have been much of a factor as it played out, but I could be wrong. Duane, this has got to be one of the more moronic acts on its own, and then in light of the fact of what Dunn has just cost himself. If he ever had dreams of being a pro football player, these were affected, so just your general vibe as I rambled on there.
I look at it and I'm saying that, this is a guy who's in the doghouse forever. Finally gets out of the doghouse. He's installed as a starter. He has every reason to be installed as a starter. I mean, this is the guy he's the only guy that has the carries. And he's ran well when he's been in a football game. And now here he is, finally with the reins in his hand. And what's he do? He goes out and starts putting his hand on his girlfriend. I mean, it's absolutely, as you use the word, moronic. What were you thinking? And Urban Meyer has made it very clear, you start putting your hands on women, you're not going to be around here. And it's just, you wonder what's going to happen now. What if I assume that they're going to try to go at the girl and get her to drop this? Is that going to change anything? Just because she dropped it, is Urban Meyer going to drop it? So you just can't really, I just got to say, I doubt we see him wear a uniform for the Ohio State Buckeyes anymore. I just don't see that happening. I just don't think Meyer's going to accept that, just because you got the charges dropped, that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. I think he's done.
Yeah, there are complicating factors here, and let's just let this play out. My guess is this is going to play out quickly, but we've got some complicating factors because of people are going to bring up the Carlos Hyde situation. People remember Carlos was caught on camera at a bar in some kind of altercation with the female and was suspended. And then
that's key, though, Dan. He was suspended. He wasn't dismissed. And you wonder if the accumulation has anything to do with it. Carlos Hyde had not been the guy that got in trouble. Br'ionte Dunn has had some run-ins here, and then finally, now you've capped it off with putting your hands on your girlfriend. Okay, that's enough. You got to find somewhere else to finish your college career. The word used is dismissed, not suspended.
Also, if you take a look at it, you've referred to it several times in this conversation, Dunn entered the program on video. I mean, that was the first backseat camera police video I've ever watched, was of Dunn arguing with some girl about weed and his mom and possession and stuff. So he entered the program, like you said. That's entering in the doghouse, man. Being on camera, arguing about weed in the back of a car with a girl, not your best start. And then really, he has been a good player when he's here. He has not been better than anyone in front of him. And so we can now talk about the impact on the football team. I think it's negligible. I'm not trying to be a homer here. I don't think he would have played much. I think it would have been Weber. Mikey Weber is going to be the main guy. All this does to me is accelerate the Antonio Williams growth experience, as it were. This is my opinion now. I don't see more carries for Dante Wilson, maybe a few more. And I'd love to see them get the ball to Curtis Samuel more, but I got to see that to believe it. I think this means an expanded role for the youngsters, Weber and Williams. Your opinion?
Yeah, well, I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think it looked like they had made the decision not to redshirt Antonio Williams anyway when we saw the number change. But Williams, he's obviously going to get more carries. He's a more heavy-duty guy. I always thought that he was going to be the guy. I've never been really convinced about Weber. It's I hope I'm wrong about him. I think he can be good. I don't think he can be great. I don't know if Williams is going to be great. Then I think he's got a better chance than Weber does. We'll see. Obviously, I don't think this is going to resolve in a good way for Br'ionte Dunn. So those two guys are it, and that's part of the thing. I think you've got to wonder about, does Curtis Samuel get some carries as a running back when you only got two backs and they're both freshmen. One's red shirt and one's true freshman. You're going to. I just think we're going to start hearing about the possibility that Curtis Samuel is going to be back there. I could see this just changing, getting turned on its head. We'll see what's going to happen here. Does Urban Meyer have the faith that two guys that have never stepped on the football field at the college level are going to be able to carry the load? We'll see if he wants to do that. I mean, this is a run-heavy offense. You got nobody yet. Nobody was established. Dunn's the only one with any college experience. Now you lose that. We'll see what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, there's no question. Here's my hesitancy with Samuel. Now, anyone who's listened to the BM5 or read the site up until, I guess they made it clear. I always thought heading into this year before Weber and Sutter were kind of team, I always thought Samuel was going to be the main guy. They don't see him that way, I guess. I guess he's not really viewed as a tailback. Now, I guess that could change with great opportunity, and he showed things, but I don't think Dunn was a significant part of the rotation in the long run, so it may not necessitate that much of a personnel change, but what it does is it puts you in a position where if there are injuries, you could be in a position where you have to do some serious dominoes.
Very easily could. We don't know what's going on. You only got two backs, and there's always been that thing, a pair and a spare. Well, we don't have spare right now. So, it's going to get interesting. I've been looking at the depth chart. Is there anybody who could step back there? And nobody just leaps out at me, and that other than Curtis Samuel, that could move back to running back.
This is a very interesting story. We'll follow it deeply on Bucknuts. Obviously, there's not much else for us to chat about this morning. One thing to be clear about, Friday Night Lights will happen, and we will have the best coverage in the business. Make sure you probably should take work off on Friday. Definitely cordon off your Friday night. No more clubbing for you Bucknutters. You're going to be there. It's going to be a very impressive array of talent. We'd also like to say that we hope Cam Akers listened to the BM5 this morning. Have a good one, Bucknutters.